accessibility failures here in Toronto. Who knew, with all the work that has been done for those living with disabilities, that there is so much still to be done?
And we fancy ourselves a world-class city. You think we would be doing a better job.
And this is not just Toronto. It's other cities as well. It's other towns. It's rural areas. It's urban areas.
And it's things that you and I take for granted every day. And it really takes going through the paces before you realize the pitfalls and where we are going wrong.
Now, that's David Lepofsky, who is not only visually impaired, and he is an advocate for those living with disabilities and for trying to right these wrongs. So he's been working very closely with Tammy, and so she has him over in the green room right now to chat a little bit more at length. Tammy.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. So David is with me. We just had a lengthy Facebook Live chat as well, just talking about the experience. Why do you think that this is still popping up in brand new buildings? We kind of understand the older ones, but brand new buildings, there's really no excuse.
There's really two problems. The first and the most important is the provincial government has not passed the accessibility standards and regulations that we need to ensure that new buildings are fully accessible. They upgraded the building code, but the building code's still, frankly, substantially inadequate for people with disabilities. And so we need the government to pass accessibility regulations that tell organizations what they got to do, so they don't have to go hiring consultants and worry about making these kind of blunders. The second problem is that the folks who design our buildings and build them don't seem to know enough about this because they keep designing them the wrong way. You'd think they would know better, but sadly, too often they don't.
And is there any kind of change in the works where groups of people with disabilities or groups like the AODA Alliance work directly with these contractors and developers before they build?
Well, you know what, we're volunteers and we're trying to get the word out at the grassroots. We're encouraging people to take pictures of barriers and to tweet them using the hashtag AODAFail. AODA is the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act. Now, if people do things right, we tweet pictures of those too. We want to congratulate those who are doing it right. But anybody out there who's either in the process of designing a building, or it doesn't have to be a physical barrier, it can be any kind of accessibility barrier facing people with a physical or mental or sensory disabilities. We want people tweeting them because organizations don't want to have this kind of bad publicity. Right. They don't want to get it wrong, but what we'd really like is for the government to pass the accessibility regulations we need so that people will get it right and to effectively enforce them. But the government is just not doing enough of that.
All right, we hope that that campaign gets that done as well for now, and I will send it back to Kevin.
Great job on that one. Thank you very much, Tammy, and thank you, David, for coming in.
Yeah, it's enlightening, and we don't know until we talk about it, right? So this is one way, hopefully, it'll affect change.
Yeah, I mean, imagine yourself if you came home and couldn't get in. It's something that simple.
Or you're heading to the doctors or the grocery stores, and you know, there's some things in place, but not for all, depending on what their disability is, and you just can't get through the most simple things of everyday life. It's so frustrating. All
right, more information available online on our website and our Facebook page. Join in the discussion.